Hi, it's Mrs. Cox, and I'm going to show you some ideas for how you could have a go at building a wall at home and experimenting with different joins and what works. So the obvious thing is, if you've got any Lego or other bricks at home, that makes it very easy. And I will show you that, but I think a lot of you won't have Lego at home, so I've got some other ideas that you could try. So the first thing to understand with building our wall is if I just build all the Lego on top of itself like this, that bit's very strong, but if I put it together with other bits the same, that doesn't make a very good wall. Yeah, I could put it together and it would look fine, but they're not joined, so it's not very strong. So our first wall that I think most of you, when you start playing with Lego, you work this out pretty quickly, is we have to have overlaps to make the wall strong. So that's very strong. If you want to be really clever, you could experiment with making a double wall. So 2 bricks going that way, 1 brick so we have 1 brick in the middle going like that, 2 more bricks going that way. Don't know if you remember, they were called stretchers, and then some headers going across this way on top. And then you will have made a really strong double wall. So lots to play with. If you've got Lego bricks, then send us a picture of your Lego walls and how you've made them strong. But if you haven't got any Lego, I was thinking, what might you have at home that you could give a go with? So you might have some books, and if you did, you could experiment. So I just got some books out of my son's room, and they're not all exactly the same size, so I worked out pretty quickly I have to put the biggest ones at the back, and then I can put the smaller ones on, and I can make an overlapping wall out of books. If you've got enough books to give that a go, that's worth a thought. And then I thought, have I got anything in the kitchen that might work? And I thought I'd have a go at building dry stone walls out of pasta. And I started with, we've got some curly pasta. And I've never seen bricks that are that shape. So I thought, could that work? And what I found, I needed to start on a fairly solid base. I don't know if you remember when we were talking about houses, we talked about foundations. So if I'm starting on something that stops the pasta rolling around, I actually could have a go at slotting them together to make the first layer, and then slotting another layer together at the back. So I've got a nice broad foundation, and if you look at a dry stone wall, it will be several stones deep at the bottom to make it really strong. And then I can try and put my pasta going the other way across. I'm rushing this a bit. You could spend hours doing this. And then I can actually start to go a bit higher. Now, if you're using food out of the kitchen, ask first, wash your hands. If you're careful, you'd still be able to cook with that pasta. But I was really surprised that I could build a bit of a dry stone wall out of curly pasta. And we had another kind of pasta, which was tubes of pasta, and actually that was even easier. I could make a really stable wall by going across, having them at right angles to each other with that. So I would love to see your dry stone walls made of pasta. That would be really interesting. And then the other thing is my old friend, the raisins. So I could put some raisins, and I'm just thinking about that brick bond and picking some quite nice large ones to go at the bottom. So I've done 3 rows going across, and then I can start to build them up going in the other direction. And I think I could actually get quite high with raisins, but there's a challenge for you. If you haven't got raisins, then you could, if you had a piece of fruit, you could quite enjoy. This is a bit like our fruity design challenge at the beginning. I'm just going to cut it into slices. You can do that with an ordinary knife and then use those as bricks. I think I could get quite high with a wall built of bananas. Obviously isn't very useful, it wouldn't last very long, but it helps you have a go and an experiment with different bonds. I could do the same thing with a slice of pepper. I could make my pepper into bricks. I might have to just trim some of the inside off. But once I've got my brick shapes, I can experiment with making a wall out of peppers. That might work. And if you don't have anything to make a brick wall out of, then you can have a lot of fun going out, looking around your neighbourhood and just drawing or photographing some detail. So you can see I've just gone out, I've drawn an ordinary brick wall, I've drawn some bricks that have been laid vertically. So most bricks are laid horizontally, but these ones have been laid vertically because they're over a window to finish it off over the window. And here you will see these kind of arches of brick on a lot of old houses, old Victorian houses around Manchester and in other places. So here it's a beautiful arched window with an arch of brick over it. So those were the details I found. So it's up to you whether you just go for a walk and look for brick, whether you experiment with making some walls of your own out of anything you can find in the house, but ask first. Or you also, our hardest challenge is for you to design your own wall, and you might want to make it really beautiful, you might want to make it really strong, you might want to make it both. As always, we're really looking forward to seeing your designs, and we hope you enjoy having a go at this week's family challenge.